What's going on, guys? My name is Pablo and I am a car addict. This is Drivers Anonymous. Thank you for joining me on this drive. It's been quite some time since I've dropped a video, maybe close to a year at this point. So I wanted to thank everybody who has subscribed to the channel, who has left comments on the videos, who's still watching the videos and enjoying them. I'm back. I took some time for myself that I had to take. But I'm back making some videos. I hope to stay consistent this time around. Anyway, hope everybody is happy, healthy, happily living life, enjoying their cars, and just having a good time. So I wanted to bring this video for today, talking about, whether or not the Jeep SRT is going to become a collector's item in the future. And this has been on my mind for a couple of weeks now, because I'm tracking the resale value, like on Auto Trader and like a couple of other websites, and I noticed that the value is creeping up, ironically. I bought this car back in 2020 and I paid like in the mid 60s. I think I paid like 64 or 65K for this car. And back in like 2022, I went on to, I think it was Carvana or whatever, and I got a value for the car, and they gave me a valuation of like $40,000 or something like that. And then all of a sudden, a couple of weeks ago, I got another email from them saying that the car is now worth $48,000, and I'm like, okay, shit, went up a lot in little bit of time that I've been tracking it. I went onto Auto Trader and I searched cars that were similar mileage and years, and I've seen 2020 Jeep SRT, 2021 Jeep SRT with about 17 to 21,000 miles, going for like 50 or 55,000, which I think that's a really strong price point, because like if you think about it, so from 2012 through 2021, there were about 75,000 SRTs made. So the car is not necessarily a rare car, but the fact that the value is going up little by little over time lets me believe and lets me see that there is a market, for these cars moving forward. And I think that, when you have one of these cars, you have to really be aware of the kind of car that you own. You have, the last of a dying V8 breed. I say that so often in my videos, but it's true. Car makers aren't making big, burly, V8s anymore that are just raw muscle and fun. And this car is one of those. It's an SUV, so it's comfortable. It's overall just a really good car. It's not razor sharp like an X5M or like all these other cars that are like SUV race cars, but you're in a 6.4 liter HEMI V8, which are being discontinued, by the way, because all these American companies are now making just electric cars, which is crazy to me, to buy a Charger or a Challenger SRT that's electric and just has fake sound in the speakers. It's just like, what's the fucking point, and kind of like the resale value reminds me of the 2003 BMW M5 that I used to own. I know for a clean model, for like an old M5 nowadays, like specifically the 2000 through the 2003, you're not paying less than $75,000 to $100,000 for a clean model, which is absolutely insane because they're older cars, but kind of similar to this car. It's a 5-liter V8, 6-speed, just motor, engine, transmission, fun, raw, and people want those kind of cars. People want those kind of cars. Like, collectors want these kind of cars that hold on to a moment in time where driving was just fun. Driving was just what it was meant to be. Fun and engaging and you know, in my case at least, I like having a loud exhaust on this car. Not super loud, but like I wanted to, I you know, want to hear when it cold starts. I want to hear when I get on it. I just, you know, all these quiet electric cars just don't do it for me. And I know a lot of you guys that are watching this video and my videos in general are probably in the same boat as me and as these enthusiasts that like want to keep this dream alive of, you know, driving not old, this car's not old, but driving, like having an old school kind of feeling of just fun, of looking forward to get in the car, you know, looking forward to driving the car, looking forward to take it on, like, you know, twisty mountain roads, and, you know, getting on and out of light and doing the cold start and just sitting in it and enjoying the sound. Like, these cars are dying completely. Even those new, you know, like X5M, X6M, and the Mercedes, maybe the Benz sounds good as well, the AMGs, but like, you're not gonna get a big motor V8 engine anymore in any of these cars. And that's sad, because, you know, the world is going towards kind of like boring fucking driving, man. You know, all these new electric cars are just kind of boring. They're so techy, and it's like you're driving a computer. It's like you're driving in a video game. Like, you lose the engagement, you lose the vibe, you just, you know, you just kind of smash on the pedal and you're, you know, flying ahead. Like, you don't get that same experience. So I really do think that, you know, 5 or 10 years from now, you know, a really lightly used, you know, Jeep SRT that's clean, that was well taken care of, even if it's lightly modded with, like, you know, exhaust or intake or tuned or whatever, is gonna command, you know, maybe a solid $60,000 to $70,000. I'm not gonna go crazy and say it's gonna be $100,000 car. I don't think that's gonna happen. And if it does happen, it's many years down the pipeline. But you know, they're just not making these kind of cars anymore, man. And I don't think that every Jeep SRT is going to go up in value, because, I mean, you know, realistically, from the 75,000 cars that were made, you know, during that model run, which was 9 years, I'm sure the majority of them, not the majority, but many of them were either beat on or, you know, daily driven hard, and they have hundreds of thousands of miles. Like, let's see this, let me pause a little bit. Like, yeah, you're not gonna get that kind of feeling in a freaking electric car. It's just impossible. This is an SUV, you know. I'll shut up for a second. You know what? Let me not be irresponsible. Not today. Not today. Maybe tomorrow. Anyway, as I was saying, and as I just tried to show you guys that are maybe considering getting one of these cars, or, you know, have a Jeep SRT, or have a, you know, Charger or a Challenger, or any car that you have that you love to drive that gives you this feeling, hold on to it, man. Like, hold on to it, take care of it. Like, it's at least part of my identity and my, you know, the things that I really hold close to my heart that really make me happy is just getting in the car and driving, and having a car that makes me feel happy like a child, makes me feel giddy to be able to drive it. I don't care to be the fastest car on the road. If that was the case, I would get a Trackhawk, or I would get something else that's, you know, 0 to 60 that's faster, right? Because let's say with all the mods that I've done, let's say I'm doing, I don't know, 4.2 seconds 0 to 60, which is still freaking fast for a huge Jeep Grand Cherokee. Like, it's a big ass car, it's still fast. Like, who am I driving? Like, who am I competing against? Nobody. You know, I'm freaking living in New York City. You can see the traffic. Like, I'm not going anywhere fast. Maybe on the highway I'll enjoy a nice big V8, but like, I'm riding with my wife or with my dog or both, and it's just, I'm not at that point in my life anymore where I'm going to put their lives at risk. It's just not worth it. So yeah, I don't know. I have a really good feeling about the SRT specifically. I don't know about the Trackhawk. You know, the Trackhawk is a whole different thing for guys that, you know, want to be really fast, have a Jeep Grand Cherokee, have a V8 motor, but be force induced. Like, that's different. I feel like that's going to be a different market. I'm sure it's going to also go up in value because they're just not making that kind of motor anymore, period. But something tells me that the SRT in the future might be like a really niche, like specific kind of car that commands a specific kind of premium, that, you know, people that know about it are going to want it, are going to pay whatever they are being asked because of either having owned some sort of SRT in the past, or having owned a Jeep SRT and want the same car again because, you know, nothing is kind of giving them the same feeling. It's gonna be something in the future, and I don't think that it's a coincidence that already, you know, the values are, one, they're holding super strong, and two, they're creeping up a little bit. So I think that's something to kind of keep in mind, because I don't know, man, like, I'm just a really firm believer in these kind of cars, whether it be a 2020, 2021, even back to, you know, the WK1 generation of the SRTs that are its own really, really, really cool car. Like, these kind of cars in 10 years, when things are really different, are just going to be really expensive to own, or to buy at least. And I just feel really, really strongly about that, because I love this car. I actually almost had a crisis and I sold it. I almost sold it around Christmas time, this past Christmas time. I found a Trackhawk in Chicago. It was a silver Trackhawk with about 16,000 miles, and they were asking like $95,000 or $97,000 for it. You know, I got into my head, I was doing calculations. I'm like, I'll sell this, I'll sell that, I'll put up the SRT, and I'm gonna upgrade to a Trackhawk. And like, I'm glad that I didn't, because I really feel that I'm just a, you know, V8, a naturally aspirated kind of guy. Like, I just feel that. I'm just really happy that I didn't sell it. You know, this is my car. You know, this car makes me happy. Like, I've had good experiences in this car. I've had bad experiences. Like, I feel like this car is part of me, and I would feel like I'm selling a part of myself. Kind of like when I sold like the BMW M5 that I drove till like, I bought it from my brother, actually. And the car had like 70-something thousand miles on it when I bought it. I had to do a lot of maintenance to it because he didn't really take care of that car. And I drove that car till 120,000 miles. Like, that car was another part of me, but was a part of me for that part of my life. Now, for this part of my life, this car is a part of me, and it's such a fun car to drive. I think that, like, whomever of you guys that are either in the market for an SRT, or in the market for maybe a Trackhawk or a Challenger or a Charger, or maybe you're like me, you're like a 38-year-old guy or 40-year-old guy who has a family now but really loves to drive and really wants a car that will satisfy all of those boxes of having your wife be comfortable, having your kids be comfortable, being able to load and lug a crap ton of shit in the trunk or in the back seat, and, you know, still have a car that puts a smile on your face. Like, this car for me is perfect for that. And I think that in the future, a lot of people are going to realize that and flock to these models that maybe weren't really appreciated in the moment, and be like, shit, I want an SRT. That car is what I need in my life. And, you know, they'll maybe be commanding $75,000, but people might pay, you know? Anyway, I'm approaching my destination, so I'm gonna have to cut this off soon. But For any of you guys who are watching this for the first time and made it this far, thank you. Thank you for your support. Thank you for listening to me. Drop any comments down below, any questions, anything that resonated with you, any points that I made that maybe you don't think are accurate, or I want to hear whatever you guys have to say. I'll always do my best to get back to your comments. And for any first timers that are watching this video, this is a 2020 Jeep Grand Cherokee SRT. The car has 17,200 miles. I don't drive it as much as I should because I live in the city and I take the subway a lot, and I have been taking the subway a lot because the traffic has been horrendous. And I've done a few mods to the car, but I'll definitely make another video about that. Or if you want to search my videos from the previous year, I have a video about what I've done to the car and costs and how overall they made the car feel. So if I can ask you guys for one favor, if you made it this far, just smash up those like buttons so this video gets out to guys or girls like yourself that love driving, love cool cars, want to preserve the you know, the fun car culture where we just get in our cars and kind of just have some sort of dissociation, meditation, relaxation time, which is what driving is for me. And I think I'll always be driving cars like this, honestly. I honestly can't see myself getting into an electric or, you know, having a car that's like boring to me, in my opinion, boring, and just doesn't make me happy. It's just, what's the point? What's the point of driving? Might as well take an Uber for that, you know? So anyway, this is Drivers Anonymous. Thank you for taking this ride with me. Smash up those like buttons, subscribe, leave me a comment, and take care, everybody. Be happy, be safe, be healthy, and drive safe. I'll see you soon in another video. All right, guys, take care. Peace out.